Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best in old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax. Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers. Just like that, we're on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hit the mute button there. There we go. So we're not repeating ourselves. How's everybody doing? We've changed the cameras a little bit again. We have Neil so that he doesn't look
quite a
miniature
small
in the back there as he did last week. And I can still, I think, if I reach over this way, my hand will disappear. And we're getting closer and closer all the time, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show. My name is Ken Tizzard. We are Music for Goats. We are your hosts on a Wednesday night to take you away from whatever it is that's bothering you. What is bothering you? I don't know. What's bothering me? I don't know. What's bothering you, Mr. Grant? Anything bothering you? Anything you need to be taken away from tonight?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm pretty good too. David, you're good?
I'm good.
Yeah, excellent. How's Mr. Neil doing?
Doing great, thank you very much.
She is just fantastic.
Absolutely great, yes. Yeah. The only thing that's bothering me is the proximity of your guitar headstock.
Yeah, well, you'll get used to that. You'll get used to it.
I may be wearing a hockey helmet next week.
It's not as close as it looks.
Oh, yes, it is. It's closer.
Could knock a few of the teeth out.
Yeah,
a little
well.
bit of the work done there. Again, thanks for tuning in. We got some of the regulars here. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Steve. Tony. Off the hop stout from Newark Brewing. Eh? That's what you're drinking, eh, Tony? How is it? I'm back on the Longtooth Lager once again here. Longtooth Lager, there you go. That's the pale ale glass. It's not even the Longtooth Lager glass. Look at that. Some yummy though.
With ice in it.
Wet and cold. I don't know what happened. Sometime like I had forgotten to put my beer in the fridge, so I started putting it on ice over the summer, and I just kind of really got used to it. And now I love it. And now I'm not even putting the beer in the fridge. Barry, this is the second week Barry showed up. Now I'm like, shit, Barry, I'm sorry. I didn't put any beer in the fridge again because I drink it on ice. And you're like, that's fucking gross. I'll have a warm one, thanks. So my apologies to Barry. How's your back, Barry?
Oh, it's a bit sore today.
Yeah?
Yeah, doing some work around the house, putting up a sheet of plywood.
Plywood?
Yeah, 3.5 inch. I think it's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I twist it wrong and, I'm paying for it.
Ugh, you got some Aleve or something to help you out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of good chemicals.
Lots of chemicals for that. Okay, excellent. Well, that's fantastic. We're going to start tonight with a tune called $1 a Day. This is off the new DAG Sessions recordings. And goes just like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I was walking down the road when a stranger passed my way. Was empty in his business eyes. He made no move to step aside. He disregarded me. His brain was bleeding compromise. It would be a rude awakening if I knocked him down and stole away his shoes. There's no place that I'd rather be, and that place is anywhere here but next to you. Well, you'll work harder with a gun at your back for $1 a day. You'll trade away your years to fight
fight the fears they feed you for $1 a day. I stopped along the way to hear the politician speak. He stood to stand for something. He promised better futures for those of us who took the line and got behind him. He grew ugly and unwise as he lied about the lies and how they made him feel. The cracks in his disguise grew wider and he could no longer hide inside the truth that he tried to conceal. Well, you'll work harder with a gun at your back for $1 a day. You'll trade away your years to fight the fears they feed you for $1 a day. Well, you'll work harder with a gun at your back for $1 a day. You'll trade away your years to fight the fears they feed you for $1 a day.
There we go, a little $1 a day to start off your Wednesday night. Ron Buisonette is on, he's saying cough, cough, hi goats. Either he's got a cold or he's just been having a puff to get ready for Wednesday night. Allison is here. Allison, which Allison is here? I said, oh, maybe that's hi to Allison from okay. Where's Aunt Betty? I'm not sure. COVID's got ugly. Oh no, Jeannie, COVID's got you for round 3. That sucks. I want to mention again,
there she is.
I'm really excited about the... Hey, Aunt Betty, how you doing? Good to see you, love. I hope everybody back home's fine. I was thinking about Patsy the other night. Thinking about Patsy and their place down there on Barrington Lane. Going down there in the basement. I think they had a fish tank when I was younger for some reason. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, Betty, but I was thinking about the fish tank in the Barrington's basement. Could have been a bookcase. You know, I wasn't that bright as a child. Yes, exactly. Mike Schaefer, hey guys, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So this week we announced that we're starting a new residency over the winter months, January, February, March, and April. January through May, which isn't actually through May, it's January till May, but I put through May on the poster, but it's till May, so don't be. Anyways, we're doing a Monday night residency at Capers, which is a little restaurant here in town. It doesn't hold very many people. Chef Dorset's going to put together a nice special menu for it. And it'll be 7 to 9 p.m. Meet up at Spirit Leaf earlier. Buy your favorite flower from Eric and the gang over there. Then come hang out in the alley, and we'll make some music, and we'll have some food, and we'll have some fun on a Monday night. It'll be really nice. It'll be really nice to see. Get back out and do something every week locally. Get to see people for real, you know. So that's going to be fun, and thanks to Dorset and Dar for being so cool and helping us put this all together. It's going to make for a nice little winter project over there. I go into Toronto tomorrow, which I'm not too happy with. I don't like going into Toronto, but I have to tomorrow for Watchmen rehearsal. I like that part of it. Once I get there, it's fine. It's the commute, you know. Toronto is so hard these days. It also means an entire day of sobriety. I mean, I don't get back till 10:30 or 11 at night. That'll be my first beer and a draw. That's a long day. That makes for a fucking long day. Oh my. We did just celebrate rehearse Celebrator. I'll throw it at the guys, Richard, see if we can get it in the set. I don't know, but it's been a long time since we played that one. I still remember it though. Anyways, we'll see if we can get that in the set there, Rich. It's going to be a fun night in Toronto, so I'm looking forward to that too. It's going to be a fun weekend. We did just celebrate Remembrance Day on the 11th. That was a couple days back. And it always makes me think this time of year. And I thought we could represent it with a Slade Cleaves song this year, a song called Green Mountains, which we play from time to time. Seems like a totally appropriate time to play it. We've got special guest Kirby Lambert on the show tonight. Kirby's a friend, you'll get to meet him. Kirby makes knives. He's referred to as a bladesmith. He actually makes knives for a living. Scott Knopfel, Already Gone. There you go. First time we've got a request for Already Gone. We are going to do that one in the show tonight there for you, Scott. Thank you. This is a song about a soldier and a wife and a kid and some other people in the family. It's called Green Mountains and Me, and it goes just like this. 1, 2, 3. I'm on the other side of the world tonight, but under the same cold skies. And tonight I'll dream you right back home to this little life of ours. We walk hand in hand through fields of green, just like we did last year. It's so hard to wake up every day and watch as your dreams disappear. In the twilight, in the silent snow, I hear you singing out my name. Won't you come back, my darling? Each night I pray on bended knee. Won't you come back to the Green Mountains and me? I see a car winding up the driveway up to your parents' place. Your old man looks up from his raking as the color drains from your mom's face. She's crying softly by the window now, while your daddy shakes the soldier's hands. Tail lights disappear into the woods below. He's frozen in the doorway where he stands. People on the street used to stop and chat. Now they look down and walk on by. Won't you come back, my darling? Each night I pray on bended knee. Won't you come back to the Green Mountains and me? Seasons come and the seasons go. We live from day to day, and I lose a little bit of myself with each tear I wipe away. It's quiet here, your little boy's asleep. He looks more like you every day. Won't you come back, my darling? Each night I pray on bended knee.
won't you come back to the green mountains of me? Won't you come back to the green mountains of me? Oh, babe, why don't you come back to the green mountains and me?
A little bit of a trick ending on there that we're still just showing the endings to Dave. He's getting to the points where we're okay, we're going to do this one today. If you haven't played it before, but it's this beat and it goes like this, and then we play a little bit of it. We never get to the end. Sometimes we do. I thought we might get that one tonight. It was close. It was close. Again, in response to the it being a Veteran Day of Remembering, we're going to do a video rewind tonight of Devils and Dust back from, I think, 1907, when I was a child. Recorded on, what were they recording with in 1907, Neil?
I don't know. I
They
wasn't
probably
around.
Were they?
They were doing the direct to those cylinders.
Direct to cylinders?
Wax cylinders, I think, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's neat. Is this in,
Direct, but then they also could make duplicates from it.
right, right. And this is music you're talking about, or
Yes.
photo. Yeah, I was
yeah.
trying to think what they were recording video with in 1906,
Oh.
but they weren't, right?
No.
So maybe
Well,
I've got the year
A
wrong.
pencil and, a pen and ink and paper. I
Pen and
think
ink
was
and a
the,
really fast hand.
Exactly.
Movies had been invented, but they hadn't got movies and the sound both at the same
Oh,
time
and
yet.
they had like a band perform in front of the stage while the movie
Yeah,
played.
or usually just a piano player.
Piano player, that's right. Yeah. God, that's so weird. What key is this in? E or E flat?
Yes.
I remember it well.
E flat or E? Neil?
E flat, I think.
It is E flat, eh? We had this argument yesterday, and Mr. Grant thought for sure it was E.
No, he didn't. Freaking liar. Jesus Christ.
Oh my!
This is just a discussion, but it could turn into an argument.
So Danny's on the road with Big Rec. Right now, he's coming back tomorrow morning. I think he's playing Halifax tonight, and he's flying back tomorrow morning for Watchman rehearsal, and then the show, and then he picks up with the tour again for another 4 weeks or longer. I think he's going right up till before Christmas. So, if you're out around Canada, they're hitting every town. Big Rec with Texas King. And Daniel Graves. Call him Daniel if you meet him. He likes that. So I'm really happy that Danny's getting a chance to do this. You know, it's a really cool thing for him. He's done solo work, sort of, one-off stuff, but to go out and do a full tour across the States and down in, or across Canada and the States, what a great opportunity. So if you're going to see Big Rec, go early, check out Daniel and buy his album. And as well, enjoy the Big Rec show. I haven't seen Texas King, but Big Rec are in fine form as always. So, good stuff all around there. Yeah, hope Danny's doing all right there. I hope you have a good day flying tomorrow while I'm driving. Anyways, here's a little bit of Bob Dylan for y'all. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Kirby. Well, we're going to talk to Kirby. Well, no. You know what I mean.
Yeah, we're going to listen to you talk to Kirby.
Right. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, it'll never do no how. when your rooster crows at the break of dawn. Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. But don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, like you've never done before. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, I can't see you anymore. I wish there was something I could do or say to maybe try and change. Maybe try and change your mind and stay, but we never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Calling out my name, girl, like you never done before. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, I can't see you anymore. I'm thinking and I'm wondering as I'm walking down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. Say fare thee well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind, I could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted my precious time. But don't think twice, it's alright. No, don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. Sorry about the self-indulgent double solo there. Neither of them particularly worthy of either existing, but you know,
we're kind of used to it.
gotta try
so,
these things.
you
Oh, you
know.
know, something, Monday night I was on fire. I was on fire Monday night. I don't know what happened. Everything was amazing. And then like Wednesday night comes and I think, well, I better not get too stoned. Then look what happens. My playing suffers. Whose fault is that, Neil?
Oh, probably mine.
Joe Murray, where's DP? Lost in cyberspace? Quite possibly. I haven't gotten a message from her. Let me check and see if she's messaging me saying, Ken, your show isn't on, or some such. No messages from Deb. I'm sure she is out having a great time in the world. I'm just realizing my shirt's really open. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Wow. Fabio over here with the hair and the open shirt. It's like right down there anyways. We got Kirby on the
Hair is in singular.
show. Yeah. I know. This is. I'm gonna put this up to the camera here. This camera right here. This is not really going to focus for me, is it? It's. He makes these knives to look blurry. No, I'm just kidding. There we go. Nice and clear now. This is a Lambert. See how tiny this one is? This is the one that I had made for Neil for Christmas. Isn't it lovely? Sorry about the focus. It's only about this big, and it's sharp as anything. I mean, can I cut this lime, Neil?
Probably.
I know, but not can I? I mean, would you mind?
No, I don't mind
I
at
just
all.
want to see if it'll cut through a lime.
I'm
oh
not,
my God.
I'm not the line.
It cuts through a... Oh my God, look at this. Look at this lime. Look at the juice coming out of it. You see this lime? Oh my God, that's amazing. Look at this, folks. I'm going to take in my world a little bit here. This is my bedroom. In my bedroom, next to my bed, is, who's that? David Fry. Yeah, no, that works, Dave. This big thing here you can't really see because it's kind of blurry and, you know, these things never focus in properly. That's a massive lime tree about 6 feet tall. It lives in my room, and it makes these friggin' limes. It's got about 30 of them on it right now. Oh my God, that's good.
That looks juicy.
Yeah, check it out. That's amazing. Like, that's not even squeezing it. It's just like, oh my God. Neil, do you have a napkin?
No, and you can't have my hanky.
What do you... Okay. I'm going to use the inside of my vest.
Here.
Ah, there we go. A bit of lime juice. Make sure it gets off your blade. So I don't know if, Kirby, you can tell us if lime juice eats through your blades or not.
Careful.
This is a little tiny knife that
just poke through the end of
pokes
that
through the bottom.
cavern.
I just wanted to show you that one before we get into the whole life of Kirby here. I guess there's not really much I can say. I met Kirby years ago. I think we talked about it. You know something? Let's just play the video here, Barry. Let's get a little Kirby Lambert going on, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday show. I'm in Regina. We're playing at the casino tonight across the way there, which is great. And luckily got into town early enough to have some breakfast with a good friend Kirby Lambert. I met Kirby years ago. He showed up at the parking lot by the bus of a Thornley show,
yeah.
and started chatting, and then you came on the bus, and I think you came back that night for the show, and you brought a little knife for me and one for Ian.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. It was the first time I had sort of a handmade knife. And as we got talking, and as I got to know you, you are a professional knife maker. That is what you do. That is
what
how
I
you
do,
support yourself. That is your life.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible.
It's been a trip, yeah.
How long have you been making knives?
Probably started around 91 or so.
Okay.
And then 2002, I went full time. That's been my job ever since, so.
So you do a combination of knives. You do sort of custom work for people, tactical work for people who need that type of stuff done.
Yeah.
You also do production knives, which you design and then are put out by a company and manufactured and put in all the stores.
Yeah.
So you're in that situation where, because I asked Kirby to bring some knives today, he said, well, I don't have any knives. I've only made 10,000 of them, but I don't have any. You're kind of in the position where you're constantly doing shows, you're touring in effect, going from town to town across the world, really.
Yeah.
Showing your products with other knife makers and taking custom orders and doing fancy, funky builds and all kinds of new techniques and stuff. So you never really have like a shop with like 30 knives in it that people can go look at.
That's right.
You might have
Yeah.
one new one at a time, right?
Yeah, I usually work on batches of stuff, usually 5 to 10 at a time, and as soon as they're finished, they're out the door or finished just in time to take to a show, and they go.
How many
from there,
knives
so.
do you own that are yours? Like that you actually use as knives, or?
I would say maybe 3.
That's how many of your knives I've got.
Well,
I've got the original one you gave me, the paring knife, the one that Neil had commissioned for me, the big one, and then I've got 2 of your production model ones,
Okay.
the flip ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, so I've got more than you.
Yeah. Well, I know every time I build a run of stuff, I always say, okay, I'll put one extra one in for me, and then when it gets finished, I'm like, I can sell this one, and next time I'll build one. And it's been that way for 20 some years, so.
Well,
And especially with the kitchen knives, my wife's always, anytime
are
I
so
finish a
gorgeous.
kitchen knife, she's like, well, when do we get one? Because we don't have any of my knives for kitchen knives, so. It's like, oh, so I'll get to it, and then as soon as I build one, it's like, oh, I can always build another.
You can
I'll
always
sell
build
this
another.
one.
Well, any of you who've watched my cooking, I do cooking videos every now and again when I'm bored, and I'm always talking about my Kirby knife, so you know what it is. So because he doesn't own a lot of knives, he brought a little binder here, and there's some of his fancy builds in here. I'm going to kind of flip through, and then I'll show the camera, and Neil will help to tell me if it's in focus or not. So this is the type of stuff we're dealing with. You can see that in there, Neil?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this knife here. Like, this is your first knife, or the first knife in the book. Like, what makes the steel like this, and what makes all these patterns? Like, it's so incredible.
The steel on this is a Sanmai construction steel made by Dama Steel. So there's layered Damascus on either side, forge welded to stainless core of a different steel, and so you get the patterning once it's etched. It's kind of from a Japanese, ancient Japanese construction is where that Sanmai style came from. Where they typically had a hardened steel edge with softer steel on the sides for strength and whatnot, but now it's more decorative than anything.
When you're combining steels like this, how is it combined? Is it heat? Is it pressure? Is it
Heat, yeah, heat, and you have alternating layers of steel, and then you tack weld them together and you heat them, and then once they're the right temperature, you press it and it welds everything and it turns into a solid block, and then you start folding and twisting, and whatever you do, the sky's the limit on. That's how you get the different patterning.
You get these beautiful designs.
Yeah, and so that they're
This is another one here.
yeah
See that, Neil?
with a similar blade material. This material here is called zircutai, which is layers of titanium and zirconium forged welded together, twisted, stacked, re-welded to achieve different patterns. And then it's colored with heat, and the heat will color them at different times, so you get to see the patterning. That stuff, I don't make that material. I buy that from a guy named Chad Nichols out of Mississippi that specializes in just making that material.
So this material, you'll get it like in a slab? Or
Yeah, it comes in like a bar or,
Yeah.
or plate, and I'll cut it from there and work it and color it to whatever I want it.
And with this, the handles on them, do you build those out of, like, what's this one out of?
That is woolly mammoth ivory.
Woolly mammoth
So
ivory. Are
that's-
you allowed to work with that anymore?
Yeah, because you can't poach them. They've been dead for 15,000 years.
I
So
didn't know that. Okay.
yeah. So
How the hell do you get your hands on woolly mammoth ivory?
various suppliers at different shows that I do carry different things. So the guy that I buy that from, his name's Charles Turnage, and he specializes in a lot of the mammoth. A lot of it comes from Siberia. He'll use meteorites. There's the sushi knife I was telling you
There
about.
is a sushi knife, yes. See that in there, Neil?
Oh, yes.
That's a beautiful looking knife. We'll talk a little bit about in Japan in 1 second. Sushi knife. So how hard is it to make a sushi knife? It seems like that would be one of the harder knives to make.
It can be tricky, especially because a sushi knife is a chisel ground, so one side is flat, the other side has the bevel. And the way that I do these is a differential, it's a traditional, the way they did all the Japanese swords, where they put clay on the back so that it insulates it when you quench it. The edge is exposed and it hardens, and the back stays soft, and the line that you get here is called the Hamon line, and that is where it shows basically where the steel's hard and then
Right.
where it gets soft and springy for strength. And when you do that on a chisel ground blade, as soon as you quench it, it wants to twist because it's different
Right.
on both sides. So you got to make it straight again after a lot of times, which is a bit tricky, but
So it's a hard knife to make. It's thin and it's very long too, right?
yeah.
How long
yeah.
is this blade?
That one I think is a 12-inch
Yeah.
blade, maybe. It's one of the larger ones for sure.
And very lightweight, but still balanced properly, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Another one of your hand blades. This one is neat too. I've seen a lot of this here with the black.
Yeah.
What material is going on there?
That's another Damascus, just lots of different layering. But depending on what steels, like the first pictures you looked at were made by Dama Steel, and they're a low layer steel, whereas this is a much higher, like you get a lot tighter patterns, so there's more layers. And the steels, it gives it a darker appearance based on what steels are used. And
Beautiful. Now on the is this, what do you call this? The hilt or the?
that's the handle
handle.
scales, yeah.
Is this a steel or is this another?
That's a mokutai. It's sort of like the zircutai that I was telling you about with the
Yep.
zirconium and titanium, and that's just titanium, no zirconium.
Okay.
And then that one again, the coloring all comes from, this is the same material here, it comes from how much heat and whatever, so you can have it sort of gold and blue, or lots of dark blues and silvers.
Yeah, not getting the
Glare.
yeah, the blues and the golds, and that's just amazing.
That's the exact same material
Same
there.
material there. This one's neat. Now, this one looks a little different. What's the that looks like something you'd hunt with or kill with. There's a ferociousness.
Yeah, that's a Tanto style blade. It's originally from Japanese inspired, and then this one here I also did like what I call a multi grind. So there's a hollow ground, like the length of the blade, and then the chisel tip is a flat ground. So it looks kind of neat.
It's beautiful. It's got such contour in the edge. It's just lovely. Again, knife making is an art form, and you can you can get as interesting as you want. These are interesting here too, eh?
Yeah.
Now, are these?
That's actually one knife.
I was
It's
just
just the
gonna
flip
say
side. It's what they call a frame lock, so it's a solid titanium frame, and then this side has a handle scale and a bolster
Neat.
on it. So
Neat. I love this blade design too. It's very fierce looking. Nice, elegant. Oh, this one's neat. What's the deal here?
that one there is a frame lock. It's got a pearl inlay, and then just some different anodizing titanium stuff. Folded steel blade. I think actually Gordy Johnson owns that one,
Oh, there you
if
go.
I'm not mistaken.
So how much of this do you craft by hand? Like
Pretty much everything.
The blade?
Yeah, everything.
Like all of the handles and everything, it's all done, you get blocks of metal and
Yeah.
make it into...
The blade would come from a bar,
Yeah.
and then the titanium from the frame would just be a big sheet of titanium. So I cut out the profile, contour it, grind it, drill it
Wow.
to
It's
finish
amazing.
it.
And all your little finishing bits, these are you purchase them and you sort of source them out, right?
The hardware
The hardware
is,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a guy in Montana named Steve Kelly that specializes in making really high-end titanium fasteners and stuff. So it's kind of the industry standard that a lot of guys use his materials for the hardware. So
He's kind of got the market locked down on that.
yeah,
This is cool. This is a barber blade.
yeah.
Is this something you do regularly?
Not regularly, kind of off and on. There was a little period, number of years, probably 10 years ago or so, I kind of got on a bit of a kick of doing a bunch of different straight razors, and now I'll do them once in a while, just for fun, kind of throw in
And
the weekend.
what's the challenge in making a blade that's going to be this sharp, or is it just like any other blade? You just keep
It's
working it.
grinding these ones is a lot harder because they're ground right to zero, whereas like most blades I'll grind and you leave like 15 thousandths of an inch to put the edge on, whereas these ones are ground right to like nothing. And I grind all my blades once they've been hardened, because it keeps them nice and flat and whatnot. But the tricky part with grinding a straight razor is that when you get to when it starts getting really thin, you can't let it heat up, because if it heats up, it affects the temper and it won't hold an edge and stuff like that. So you got to really keep it cold while you're grinding it, and when it gets that thin, it's hard to keep it quite cool. So
More challenging, do you
yeah,
say?
it's just a lot. Takes a lot longer for sure.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and
that's-
here's a couple more of your.
And
Oh, these
that's-
are gorgeous.
Yeah, that's
See
my.
those? Yeah.
That's a collaboration I did with a buddy, where I built one and he built one, and they came with his logo is a shark and mine's the Black Widow. So
Very cool.
we did a bit of a project together.
This is the logo for anybody who might want to be looking for it. Herbie Lambert. Do you have a website?
I do have a website. It's lambertknives.com.
Okay.
And then my Instagram, Facebook is just at Lambert
And
Knives.
the Instagram is basically knife porn. It's so many cool things. Just check out the Instagram if you're interested. Now, so you do custom orders. You do specific needs for tactical people, soldiers, people like that, and people who sort of have a knife fetish or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then you also, people like Neil. Neil's got like 70 knives in his house.
Yeah.
I sent off-brand story. I sent my sister over there. My sister Christine was up for dinner about a year ago, and the house was quite crowded. It was a thing, and she was getting ready for bed, and Neil was going. She didn't have a place to stay, And Neil said, well, you can come out and crash at my place. And she didn't really know Neil at the time. So she said, okay, well, I'm going to go out and sleep at Neil's. And I'm like, okay, whatever, that's kind of weird. You know, I got a bed upstairs, but she wanted to go out there anyways. Neil drives her out, and of course he lives in a cottage in the middle of the woods, in the middle of kind of nowhere. About a half an hour later, I get a text from Matt, my sister's boyfriend. He says, I just got a text from your sister. She doesn't know where she is, and she's in some house in a cottage, and there's knives and swords everywhere. She's kind of freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, it is a little intimidating when you walk into Leo's place, there's just knives everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the question. Production. So you do these custom things, and then you do what's called production line, which
Yeah.
is where you come up with a design, you send it to a company who then sort of manufactures, packages, brands it, and sends it out to stores as a production.
Yeah.
And you have very little to do with them outside of the design, but you are working with a company that you trust implicitly.
Yes. Riot Knives, who in my opinion, they are one of the top, if not the top, production company with knives. Their fit and finish, their tolerances, their quality control it's just bang on in every way. So,
Well, as with everything these days, the packaging is perfect.
Yeah.
Everything has to be perfect, but it is a nice package. Even when you get the knife, it comes in a nice case.
yeah.
And then inside the case is the actual knife. Anything else in here? Any other goodies? Stickers or anything? You don't
Yeah,
know?
there's extra hardware if you want to have
Oh, I
silver
see.
as opposed to the blue. There's
Oh.
polish rag for cleaning.
I see. So this is called a production knife. And what is this one? What is the
This one is called the Mini Crossroads.
Okay.
Crossroads after Robert Johnson. I'm kind of love music and music history and that, so that's a lot of the names of my knives come from either songs I've been listening to while designing or whatever. And this one, I was listening to Robert Johnson stuff and I needed a name for a knife, so I called it the Crossroads. And this
Isn't
is
that
a
amazing?
mini version of that one. So
the Mini Crossroads? What other productions ones do you have in?
they're all the same design. They're just different materials and
Yeah. So you, and you say there's sort of 3 different degrees of these.
yeah. So that one's the upscale fancy version,
Okay.
and this would be sort of the mid dressed version where it's got the handle is fat carbon. The material is called fat carbon, and the blades are satin finished. So they're a stainless steel. That one's a Damascus blade. And so these, you can see the grain runs this way, and they're hand finished, so they're a little bit more money. And then there's another one that is just a machine finish off the belt grinder.
Do you have
whatever.
that one?
And I do have one of those in here.
These are
somewhere.
beautiful. These are absolutely beautiful. You say this is a carbon fiber on this one?
It's a type of carbon fiber, and the company that produces it is it's called Fat Carbon. I'm not sure. It's printed out rather than I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, like layered like regular carbon. I believe it's printed in strands, so it's a lot more elaborate, and you can add certain colors and
Yeah,
patterns
it's got
to it.
beautiful texture to it. The light catches it amazing.
And so then here is one of the base model ones, which is just a micarta handle. So it's more of a utilitarian.
Micarta?
Yeah.
What's my
So it's layers of canvas and epoxy resin, and you can see the blade here. The grain isn't hand finished; it's just right off the belt.
Yep. You can see that. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I can see it. Yeah.
And so this would be sort of what people would call an EDC, everyday carry knife, that is just
It's just a work knife. It's a workhorse.
yeah. And then and then the more bling you want, you just upgrade
It's
from
amazing. So knives are not cheap, and you've got to think like somebody like yourself. This is your living.
there. Yeah.
Like producing a knife and banging out the steel. It's not something you can do 10 a day.
No, definitely not. No.
That's where the production stuff comes in because they can do a bunch.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm going to ask you, what is the price range for like custom knives? Like
For custom
a
knives?
custom pocket knife.
So
Just a generic-
if I was to make one like this here,
Yeah.
my starting price is about $1,500 US, and the production version is $377 US.
Right. And the more expensive, elaborate ones on the production,
And those
go up
ones-
to
I would charge probably in the ballpark of like $2,500 US for something like that. And those they sell for, I believe, $880.
Wow. It's an amazing thing. They're not. It's not a cheap thing, but you are getting. How many years have you been doing this?
Oh. Since like full time since 2002, so it's 20
20 odd years.
Yeah.
So you've got 20 years of heavy duty, full on immersive experience, and that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere and buy a knife for $25 a Canadian Tire, but you're not going to get some. Like I know the knives that I have from you.
Yeah.
They will be passed on to my kids.
Yeah.
They're around forever.
The one thing with the Riot knives, like the materials, where a lot of production knives, and like if you go to a Cabela's or something, and a lot of the knives they carry, you can get a variety of price points from $20, $50, $75. The materials they use, like the steels they use, and the cheaper ones, you obviously you get what you pay for.
Right.
But with the Riot stuff, like they're using the same steels, the same handle material, the same stuff that I use in my customs, they're using in their production stuff. So it's
That's
a very
amazing.
high end. It's extremely affordable for what you're getting.
Yeah.
Your bang for your buck on something like this is way better than a $50 knife from Canadian Tire kind of thing.
Right. These knives will last you forever. Or they should.
They will hold up the same as a custom would because they're made from the exact same materials. Like the frames are titanium, the hardware is the titanium, whereas any of the cheaper knives and stuff in the stores, they're just built with sort of garbage steel that you don't even know what it is, or stuff like that, or injection molded handles. But these are all built and contoured the same as a custom, basically.
It's great attention to detail.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I have a few pocket knives, and some of them I love to carry.
Yeah.
I carry them in my left hip pocket.
Yeah.
And I carry them like this.
Okay.
But it seems like so many of the knives that I'm getting have the hook there to be carried that way.
Yeah.
But doesn't that allow for the blade to open in your pocket?
It shouldn't. No, not. It's got a strong detent.
Okay.
It's not going to open unless you want it to open. And the reason being so that when it's in your pocket this way, and if you reach into your pocket to pull it out,
So it's always
right.
been right-handed,
It's right in.
right-handed as opposed to left-handed.
And you can get, like, I've built left-handed where the lock is on the opposite side, because there are left-handed people that, because it's a one-handed knife, and if you're right-handed, it's just easy. You pop the lock
Yeah.
over, and if you're left-handed, that lock's on the wrong
Lock's
side.
on the wrong side.
So you can get production knives. It's pretty tough to find left-handed versions because you need so many in a production. They don't want to make
Yeah, exactly.
whatever. But I've done a lot of custom ones for specific left-handed carry and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know that can happen. Yeah, these are great knives. The Lambert knives that I have are fantastic. Like I
Thank
say,
you.
they will last me my life, and these are great. So knife building has taken you around the world, and you were just telling us over breakfast you went to Japan.
Yeah, I just got back. I spent 2 weeks in Japan. I was invited to a show there back in 2019, and when everything shut down, so did the show. And I finally got the chance to go back, and it was, I've wanted to go to Japan ever since I was probably 8 or 9 years old, watching ninja movies and stuff, and that's my love of making knives came from wanting to make Japanese swords. And it got to the point where I never thought I'd actually ever get there, because once you have a family and whatever, it's certain things get put on the back burner and stuff, but it all kind of worked out that I was able to go and experience all I've wanted to see and more. So it was
And you
phenomenal.
got to hold some like centuries old.
Yeah, there was a number of sword museums, and then an antique Japanese sword shop. They had a sword made by Masamune's father that was built in the 1200s that had been through some of the most historic samurai battles, and I got to hold it, and it was pretty mind-blowing.
Wow.
I have some pictures of that too I can send you if you want.
I'll be scouring for some of your Japan pictures to put in, because
For
I'm
sure.
sure you're wearing your glee over there.
Yeah, and the food was amazing. The temples and shrines and castles and samurai and ninja museums and all that stuff. I got to experience
And
it
sushi.
also. And sushi, lots of sushi, and Kobe beef was out of this world. So it was amazing.
That's
yeah.
amazing. Well, Kirby, thank you for taking the time to sit and chat with us today.
Yeah.
Again, your knives are great. Is it just Lambert Knives on Instagram?
Yeah.
Lambert Knives, I'll put the link up, and the website is
LambertKnives.com.
LambertKnivesAsWell.com.
Yeah.
Anybody looking for a nice custom knife, a really nice gift for the person that has it all, everybody can use with having a nice knife. I know that for Christmas a few years ago, I commissioned you to build Neil a tiny knife.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. It was this little tiny straight. It wasn't a flip blade. It was a straight blade. It was only about 3.5 inches long, from including the handle.
Yeah.
But it looks like this massive knife shrunk down. But it is the sharpest
Oh,
thing.
awesome. Yeah.
And Neil loved it. So you do all kinds of different commission work. You can reach out to online and see that. And if you're out shopping for knives and you happen to see the Lambert production models. And they look to me like they're worthy, and I would say that that'd be a good choice for a good pocket knife to last you a lifetime. Kirby Lambert, thank you for coming on the show today, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you
it's good
so
to
much.
see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure what's coming up next, but hold on, we'll be right back with something. Cheers.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the Whiskey Wednesday show. Every Wednesday we will be here, rain or shine, richer or poorer. Tip jar is in the link above. Never expected but always appreciated. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by midnight. Always appreciated, never expected. Please feel free to drop us a line regarding anything, including a link to your money. Cheers.
We are back. Very special words. We're back. What's going on? We've got the Aaron Christmas show coming up, December 7th. The Aaron are coordinating a show. We have a lot of bands. It's going to be a really fun night. Every band gets one song. I think we're going to be into the lots of band range. Still waiting for everybody to fully confirm, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of bands. December 7th at the Aaron. It's going to be great. Almost every local band and a few bands from away that kind of reached out, and bands that used to be in the area and folks that used to be in the area, like Lindsay Power is coming down to it's like, oh, that's cool. That's great. It's going to be a really good thing. The Aaron's a great place to see a show, especially a Christmas concert. It's really nice. Sounds great. It's a fun spot. I believe they might be... I'm not even going to talk about whether there'll be alcohol there or not, because that's not what the season's all about.
But we'll all be in the spirit. There you
We'll all
go.
be in the spirit. Exactly.
Ho, ho, ho.
Exactly.
And we'll bring our own spirits for backstage.
Ah, yes.
Well, that's always not an issue. I'm still blown away by this lime. It tastes so limey. It's really, I'm really blown away. I was going to take the rest off, and I'm like, I brought it in. There's about, and I'm not like I would say there's about 100 limes on it, but there's about 30. I think probably 30. And I was going to pull them off thinking, the lime tree is in now. And I pulled that one off a couple of days ago. But good Lord, it's good. I'm going to leave the other ones on, see if they actually keep growing fruit in my bedroom. I know there's something weird in that whole idea of growing
But
fruit
they're
in my
outside all
bedroom.
summer, right? And when the limes are forming, it's out in the sun.
Yeah, I just brought it in, when the
I
weather
think they're
changed.
for sale, about $25 a lime. Anybody wants one? Plus shipping.
Yeah, no, it's quite delicious. I'm really enjoying the lime. Steve, you were hoping to hear Already Gone, eh? Let's give that one a try. This is a new one. Quite like this one, actually. Not quite sure. I'm not even going to talk about it. I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, but it's a fun one, and it's kind of groovy, so I hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. This is called Already Gone.
52 years old, I'm bored and horny and tired and stoned. I'm listening to the Clash on the radio in my car. I'm missing you, I'm missing me, I'm missing them hard to believe. to the Clash record playing, and I'm thinking to myself, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. It's one of 1,000 shows I'm super excited to see, although I'm trying to find my way into believing. Idols, the band, I'm missing stereo, missing bass, missing 2 chords in my face. I'm missing something righteous, something dangerous. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. Been listening to the Clash record playing, and I'm thinking to myself, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already. This is the last cool night of summer. I'm digging through ashtrays once again. What a time we've had. Good night and God bless. Most of my friends are so lonely. Well, I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. But listening to the Clash record playing, and I'm scratching at my head and saying, where have all the good times gone? I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. I won't hear you calling on the telephone, I'm already gone. I'm already gone. Ooh, I'm already gone. I'm already gone.
There you go. Naboo song called Already Gone. That is such a friggin' new song. And you know how I know that I really like it is like the words are already.
They're already there.
I got. Yeah, they're not already
They
gone.
haven't already gone, yeah.
They haven't already gone. But yeah, like I remember, like there's songs that I wrote like back in Ottawa that we're still working on. Like I still haven't committed the lyrics yet. Like that one came out and boom, there it was.
Like
It's
this
nice.
next one we're gonna play.
Like this next one we're gonna play. Oh God, right. This is the one where I can never remember anything. Sorry, folks, just taking a second here to do that horrible thing that you all love it when I do this. Boom. Never expected. Always appreciated. Yes, thank you for those of you who have been chipping away into the donation box. We appreciate that. So we're gonna do a song now called "Over You." It's in C. This is the one that's in C, right, Mr. Grant?
Yep.
I always get that wrong. Wow, the lime is so weird, and I put it in my beer, so now there's lime in my beer, so I'm reminded of the lime every time I drink my beer. It's just like this night is all about limes.
So it's kind of like blimey.
It's like what?
Blimey.
Blimey. I don't know what blimey is. Man, look how green it is. Like it's like it's got batteries in it or something. It's my nose. Looks like some weird
Somehow
camera
I don't
filter.
associate batteries with green, but never mind.
Okay, well let's see what it looks like as Neil's nose.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, just perfect. No, we need a front shot. There we go. too bad we don't have time for my Pinocchio joke, but never mind.
And just for a split second, it was perfect. I'm sorry, folks.
Folks, you should be apologizing to me, for God's sake.
Not a chance. This is a song called Over You. It's just like this. 1,
You want me to play now,
2,
don't you?
3. Fuck you. You broke my heart. You've been untrue. I can't bear to spend another minute with you. Cold-hearted girl, you ruined my life. Now I'm moving on. I won't stay to fight. I'm gonna pack my bags, get all that I can, get far away from you and your new old man. I can't say when, someday soon you'll see. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. For years I've tried to please. You had me on the go. You had me on my knees. For years I've tried to do you right. All those toothless words sure rang true tonight. I'm moving on, I'm leaving you behind. I can't say that I'm happy. You treated me so unkind. I can't say when. Someday soon you'll see. I'll be over you as soon as she gets over me. All the friends that I had and the things that I loved to do, you crushed all my dreams. And now I'm leaving you. I can't say when. Sorry, Mr. Barry. Someday soon you'll see. I'll be over you soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a fun little song. That's a fun little song. Never know where that one's going to take us. Next week on the show, what do we got next week? Next week we've got... oh, right. I'm going to Toronto tomorrow and The Watchmen. So you'll either get Next week we'll either talk about the traffic again, and maybe I'll get some video of that, and sort of me in my car. I might get a ticket if I do that, though. I got to be careful. Yes, and that's going to be fun. So that'll be next week. The week after, it looks like I've got Rick Mercer coming back on the show. We've got a small window of time. Rick is really busy right now out with his new book and with doing a bunch of stuff on tour. So it looks like we might have a time for a little chat before 2 weeks from now, which would be nice. And then we're moving into the Christmas celebration of all this stuff. So I'm going to end the night with the song we did last week. It's a Slade Cleave song called Breakfast in Hell. And we did it last week just, because I thought I'd throw it at the guys and see what it sounded like, and I enjoyed it. So I think we're going to move it into a semi-regular place. We started the show tonight with Green Mountains, which is a Slade Cleave song, and now we're going to tackle another one of his. Thanks again for tuning in, spending another Wednesday night with us, ladies and gentlemen. It's always great. I don't know what's happened on the message board. It seems to have disappeared on me.
They're called Green Mountains because they grow limes there. You realize
There's the
that,
lime
right?
trees. I know, the Green Mountains and me. That's what I've got in my bedroom there. It's the green limey mountains. So we're gonna end with this song. This is a song, for those of you who didn't hear it last week. It's called Breakfast in Hell, and it's about it's a true story about a logger. Is that what they call them? Is that what they call them? They call them loggers. I'm sure they had a cooler name than that. If they didn't, though, and you're a logger, don't beat me up because I just said your name is uncool. That's not what I meant. I thought it would have like a tradey type name. Like pipe fitter, pipe fitter doesn't actually fit pipes, or do they? Is that what pipe fitters do?
You could be a woodcutter.
It could be a woodcutter. Okay. Lumberjack. Anyways.
But these guys are like wrestling them down the river too, so
Exactly.
that makes you a logger.
That makes you a logger. Yeah. It's a whole different thing.
the
It's a
log
different
driver's
world.
fault.
Anyways, it's a great story, so we're going to leave you tonight. If we do put this one into a regular thing, I'll have to actually learn the lyrics. There's like 18 verses, which is fantastic, a lot of fun. Anybody needing anything? No, it looks like I'm good. Cassidy's lizard is doing well. He's gained more weight. He's now a chubby little bugger.
He is. He has fat hands.
I know, very fat hands. But he's a gecko. Geckos are generally like that.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were sleeker. I thought they were sleeker.
Geckos have a bit of a chubby vibe to them.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was exceptionally small for a long time. Now he's a big lizard. Cassidy's best friend who hangs out with her all the time at school. Hope you're all having a good time out there. Hope everybody's doing well. Steve Runyons has been in hospital for a bit. He's on the road to recovery. Send this one out to Stevie tonight.
In the melting snows of Ontario, where the wind will make you shiver. It was the month of May up in Georgian Bay, near the mouth of the Musquash River, where the bears prowl and the coyotes howl, and you can hear the ospreys scream. Back in '99 we were cutting pine, sending it down the stream. Young Sandy Gray came to Quahog Bay from the way from PEI, where the weather's rough and it makes you tough and no man's afraid to die. Sandy came a smiling, 30,000 Island was the place to claim his glory. Now Sandy's gone, but his name lives on. This is Sandy's story. Of course, young Sandy Gray was not afraid, and he let out a mighty yell. Listen close, you'll hear a ghost in this story that I tell, boys. Story that I tell. Now Sandy Gray was the boss of the men who tossed the shoes to the shore. They'd come and go till they built a flow, 100,000 logs or more. And he'd ride them down to Severn Sound and set them up in the mills for timber. And the ships would haul spring, summer, and fall till the ice came in December. One Sabbath day, big Sandy Gray came into camp with a peavey on his shoulder. With a thunder crack, he dropped his axe, and the room got a little bit colder. He said, "Come on, all of you, we got work to do. We gotta give her all we can give her. There's a jam of logs at the middle jog near the mouth of the Musquash River. With no time to pray on the Lord's day, they were hoping for God's forgiveness. The jam was happening and they set about their business. And they poked with the poles and they ran with the rolls and they tried to stay on their feet. Every trick they tried, one man cried, "This log jam's got us beat." Of course. But Sandy Gray was not afraid and he let out a mighty yell. "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam or it's breakfast in hell, boys. Breakfast in hell." Now every one of the men did the work of 10 and Sandy scrambled up to the top. He was working like a dog, heaving 30-foot logs, and it looked like he'd never stopped. And they struggled on, these men so strong, till the jam began to sway. And they dove to cover to the banks of the river, all except for Sandy Gray. Now with thoughts of death, they held their breath as they saw their friend go down. And they all knew in a second or two he'd be frozen or crushed or drowned. They saw him fall and they heard him call just once and then it was over. Young Sandy Gray gave his life that day near the mouth of the Musquash River. Of course, but Sandy Gray was not afraid and he let out a mighty yell. "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam or it's breakfast in hell, boys. Breakfast in hell." You guys drop out here. East of Giant's Tomb, there's plenty of room. There's no fences and no walls. If you listen close, you'll hear a ghost down by Sandy Gray Falls. Through the tops of the trees, you'll hear in the breeze the echoes of a mighty yell. "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam or it's breakfast in hell." Of course. And Sandy Gray lives on today, and he lives out a mighty yell. "I'll be damned, we'll break this jam or it's breakfast in hell, boys. Breakfast in hell.
Close. Sort of like a train roller coaster. But it was like the roller coaster at the C&E, the old mine buster, the one that's really wobbly. That's how that felt the whole time for the most part. A lot of words in that song. A lot of words in that song.
What?
I'm talking about in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you have a
It's
stellar
like a
performance?
train on
I
a
think
ferry
so.
boat.
No, it was more of a mental thing, really. It's 9:14, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'm thinking of playing home. I'm just going to do it on my own, though, if you guys are okay. I just want to send this out to a few folks tonight. Clark and I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about my old my teenage high school gang. You know, Catherine and Clark and Danny and Kim and Dean, and all these folks. And it's been a really interesting time of life. Maybe this is the maybe this is the midlife crisis thing that they talk about. I don't know. It's not making me want to buy a fast car or find a younger woman.
Just get a skateboard.
Get a skateboard, yeah. That's normal though.
Sure it is.
Anyways, Clark's probably over in the desert or down in Thailand somewhere, but I'm gonna send this one especially to Clark tonight, but with a thought to everybody back home, and thanks to Tom Thorne for putting together all these band shirts from back in that time. It's amazing. Tom Thorne just recently just started doing band shirts from like posters from the era when we were playing, and all of a sudden he's got like 30 band shirts, and they're all shirts that people want to buy because they were all like really fun St. John's bands, everything from the punk scene to the reggae ska scene, and he's been posting all these pictures of shirts with like just like old logos from posters, and it's like, yeah, I want that one. Like, I'm hoping he sells them in groups of 10. But he does want one of my old punk bands, so maybe I can work out a deal with him. A Waffet shirt.
Because all those punk fans can afford a shirt now.
Yeah.
Anyways, this one goes out to all those people. Special dedication to Clark. I think if Clark was to dedicate this after hearing what I just said, he'd probably say a special dedication even further to Tom Thorne's dollar bill. Those who know what that means knows what that means. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. But you can't walk out on that dock and stand beside the sea-torn freighters. Sense those stories of the lives that live within. You can't have it the way it was. Have to take it as it is. Those times have changed. Those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change. River in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. The memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone. And it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. Deepest ties you'll ever know, right here at home. Down Water Street, the storefronts changed a few blocks north. Who would ever blame? Heard against a certain change and waiting game. How many words can twist and burn like sparks of hay? No further down this certain old time, old wheels stray. Have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change. Forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. The memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone. And it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. Deepest ties you'll ever know. Hurt so bad to let you go. And I thought that I just came to say hello to this place called home. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the show there tonight. Sorry we took an extra couple minutes more than usual. I was just feeling like throwing that one back. I've been, I think I mentioned it last week too. I've been having dreams about skateboarding, which is weird. But the one thing that's constant in so many of these dreams is that as I'm sort of skating and sort of seeing, you know, what you see when you're skateboarding, I always kind of see either on one side of me, I see Clark with that sort of long blue shirt that he used to wear over a wife beater T-shirt, and he had this blue shirt that was always blowing behind him with his big blonde hair. He was always on either side of me. It just really got me thinking about how much Clark and I spent time together as kids. And man, I do fucking miss that guy. And I hope you're having fun on the other side of the world, brother. And I look forward to seeing you again someday. And to everybody out there who hasn't called a good friend in a long time, pick up the phone. It's hard, I know. Sometimes the phone rings and I look at it and I don't answer it because it's too much, and I know that it's a hard thing for people, so, you know, but when you do it, you feel good. Anyways, Neil, thank you for coming out and dressing so dapper tonight.
Why, thank you very much.
Yeah, you look like you've been out hiking the world.
Well, you know, I guess I can understand that. Yes, I dressed in honor of the lime, of course.
I noticed, yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. No, we should all be dressing in honor of the line.
We should, yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very important thing. I think there's green under my hat. See, lime. Mr. Grant, where's your green? You got your green cable.
I got my green shoes on.
And you got your green shoes on. Mr. Grant's got green shoes, for God's sakes. Anybody see those? Look at those. Beautiful green shoes. And you got your green cable, green patch cord.
Yeah, yeah.
Dave, you're looking strikingly out of green. Yeah, I hear you. That's all
Maybe
good.
if you got spinach stuck in your teeth, that would qualify.
That would suffice. Everybody's good though? Nobody's got any news to report? Yeah?
I was interested to hear Rick Mercer referred to on the CBC as legendary comedian Rick Mercer. I went, okay, he's made it. He's legendary.
That's fantastic. He is, you know.
I don't know if there are legends about him, but I'm sure he could tell a few.
I'm sure he could tell a few,
too, yeah.
We'll find out. I'll ask him about that. That'll be great. Okay, well, everything's good. David, you're all good over in your world, as you were saying? Yeah, nice. Okay, well, next week we're back. Next week we're going to do the Watchmen recap, so a bunch of songs. If anybody wants to hear anything, any requests or anything, if anybody has any ideas for songs, send them through. We'll play them. We're about to get into the video rewind right now, ladies and gentlemen, and here is Devils and Dust from 1906. My magic hand waving in front of Mr. Grant. Got my finger on the trigger, but I don't know who to trust. When I look into your eyes, it's just devils and dust. We're a long, long way from home. Home's a long, long dirty wind blowing. It's just devils and dust. But I got God on my side. I'm just trying to survive. If what you do to survive kills the things you love, fear's a powerful thing. Turn your heart black, you can trust. It'll take your God-filled soul, fill it with devils and dust. I dreamed of you last night in a field of blood and stone. The blood began to dry, the smell began to rise. Well, I dreamed of you last night, Bobby,
in a field of mud and bone. Blood began to dry, the smell began to rise. I got God on my side, I'm just trying to survive. What you do to survive kills the things you love. Fear's a powerful thing. It'll turn your heart black, you can trust. It'll take your God-filled soul, fill it with devils and dust. Every woman, every man tries to take a righteous stand, find the love that God wills and the faith that He commands. But I got my finger on the trigger, and tonight faith just ain't enough. When I look into my heart, it's just devils and dust.
Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Thank you, everybody. Just gonna say goodnight here. Yeah, that's all good. Getting rid of my delay. Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful night here. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate every part of Wednesday night. Special thank you to Danny Graves, who's flying back home for a rehearsal tomorrow, so I won't be too feeling bad about driving into Toronto. He's flying, so that's okay. As long as somebody's got it worse than me, I'm okay, right? You know,
Right.
That's the main thing. Anyways, everybody, thank you very much once again for tuning in. Looking a little sideways at the camera because, as some of you have probably noticed, it's not exactly straight. The room kind of feels like it's falling over a little bit. Which way do I have to learn? Okay. So, I look like I'm holding on to the bookcase. Anyways, oh God, sometimes it just gets out of hold. Sometimes I just forget that this is like going out on the live world forever. And not that anybody's watching. But those of you who are, thank you so much. Fun little outro here at the end. This is what happens when you mix edibles. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice, be kind. If you're in Sharp's parking lot, be really kind because there's only about 10 spots right now because they're fixing the parking lot. It's going to look great. It's going to be so good for skateboarding in with the new concrete that they're putting down. I'm so excited. Thanks, Steve, and all the other Sharps for getting me some new concrete down there to go and practice my skateboarding. Yes, no, be nice, be friendly, be kind, and remember, if you can't be anything else, be everything else, and be like Steve. Cheers, folks. Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and a Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more.
kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.